Good afternoon, friends. We are late by half an hour today. I'm extremely sorry for this delay. I mean, we are trying to fix the things. I'm all alone. I'm working in that direction. So that's how it is. But let's take a look as to what's happening in the world, what's happening in India. India, of course, the news in India is dominated across the world. It's becoming the headlines of the world. The CJP protest, basically in Delhi at Jantar Mantar, is getting kind of international support also. We have seen that outside the Indian diplomatic establishments in London, people sang the national song Jana Gana Mana. These videos are viral everywhere on the internet, and they peacefully protested over there, demanding the resignation of Dharmendra Pradhan. So yes, this is now in that direction that PM Modi has also said in the parliament that a fast-track court would be set. However, there have been discussions and debates which argues that the fast-track courts will probably not resolve the issue. So I'm sorry, there is some light which is coming in. I'm just trying to cover that up with this rotating desk. Let me do that. Oh yeah, I can do that. Thank you. So this is the situation. Meanwhile, in the world, what's happening is that US has signed a civil nuclear deal with the Saudi Arabian states, and equally the Houthis. Whatever is happening in Red Sea, the Yemenis have reacted to that also. And I mean, the news from the conflict zone continues. Oil prices are spiraling up. Today is Thursday, so tomorrow is the last day of the trading session. And meanwhile, this talks basically to intermediate the peace and everything that is also happening. And equally in the business space, also, if you see, the markets worldwide are kind of in a dampened mood. So let's start with what's happening in the markets worldwide, because about this DLG. I'm sorry, I forgot to welcome you, but welcome to the hashtag DLG Plus to Dispatch, the live session in English. And myself, I'm Himanshu Bayani, the independent business journalist who does this kind of wrap of the most read news headlines across the world. So here we go. Here we start, and we start sharing the screens. And as we share the screens, we are talking on the India market. So what's happening in the India markets? So let me brief you what's really happening in the India market space. I might have a look which would be a little distinct because I've kept it a little bit on a bigger screen as compared to what you see over here, so I can visualize it clearly. So Nifty is down by 124.40 points at 0.52 at 330. If you see, this was the scenario. We are showing you the 330 closing shots. BSE Sensex was down by 365.41 points. It's 76,389.65. That's the closing of 76,401.64 at 1530. That's the closing of Sensex, and 23,879.95. That's the closing of Nifty. Both 0.5% down, you can call it. That's the larger thing. So what have been the key reasons? The key reasons have been the rising crude oil price, definitely in West Asia tensions, fresh geographical uncertainty, US-Iran conflict, and FII selling continued. The mixed Q1 2027 corporate earnings, that's not really patching up the kind of gap which is happening. And weaknesses there in selective sectors, basically the pharma, the realty, and the financials, which are considered to be the defensive sectors. There, there is a kind of weakness. Positive support, strong DII buying, that's what has happened. It has cushioned kind of a downslide. So that's the reason I said the markets will remain in a range of 0.5 to 2.5 this quarter. That's what I see. DIIs are buying strongly. They are cushioning the FII exit. And auto and select consumer stocks outperformed, which was not expected. Equally stable domestic macro environment, that is what is seen. Healthy domestic liquidity and stock-specific buying posting earnings the beat. So this scenario largely has basically, cushioned the markets basically. And if you see, so these are some data over the technical levels, and sectors to watch likely are automobiles, capital goods, infrastructure, defense, FMCG. Little bit of pressure may remain in oil marketing companies, airlines, paints, realty, and rate sensitive sectors. So what is the outlook for tomorrow? Positive triggers are, it's basically the Middle East. That's the positive trigger what's happening. So while we take a look at that, let me just expand this and let me read those triggers. So easing in Middle East tension, that's one of the positive triggers, which is in cooling oil prices. I don't know how it will take, but I think today is Thursday. We're talking tomorrow is Friday. I don't know how this would really participate. Better than expected corporate earnings and positive global and Asian markets. Yes, that's a fact. And a strong DII buying continuation. So this is largely the scenario. Now let's move to the second slide. And while we take a look at the second slide, it's all about the It's all about the world earnings, basically. The world, sorry, not the world earnings, but the world indices. And when I take a call on the world indices, so yeah, here we go. The world, the global major indices snapshot. So this is basically when the markets closed yesterday at 1:30 in US. So it is yesterday's snapshot, not today's Asia markets and the India markets, but it is yesterday's snapshot at 1:30 when the American markets closed. We do this analysis at night and we gather this data. So if you see, it's a kind of a mixed reaction everywhere. US is down. US, most of the stocks are down. Latin American markets are a little positive. If you see on other side, equally, so North American pack, if you see Canada, America, Mexico, those markets are down. And if you see the Latin American markets are positive. If you see the Asia Pacific, it's a mixed reaction. Again, Kospi was up. SSE Composite was a little up, but Shenzhen and Japan was down. S&P ASX, basically that IDX Composite was little negative. IDX was negative again. FTSE Africa was also positive. So this is the mix kind of output if you see otherwise. So Australian Stock Exchange was also plus if you see on that direction. And Europe and Middle East, if you see those markets, European markets were a little positive. And Middle East, if we see Tawadul was that was also positive. Turkey was also positive. And India was definitely negative. So, that's a mixed influx of positives and negatives making an impact from the West Asian conflict zone, the oil prices, the commentary from the Fed, the kind of things which are seen that whether the interest prices would go up, go down. Somewhere, some cushioning is happening due to some sectors, some selective sectors, some defensive sector stocks. And that's what players largely do. When the markets are impacted by major geopolitical issues, they try to play on the cushioning defensive sector stocks, and that's what they are doing. Let's take a call on what's happening in the front. What are the news happening from the conflict zone, and definitely the world. The news from the conflict desk and the breaking news. So if we take a look at that, this is what we have talked about. The Jantar Mantar protests are at the core. The official Shehrawat, the RAF commandant who had deleted her, who had put a post on cockroaches saying that they are not able to manage themselves, how they'll manage the country, that she has deleted amidst this, whatever has happened. She was again in the limelight, the way she had handled the crowd over there in Delhi, in Jantar Mantar. So she has finally deleted her post. That's what's the news coming in. That's the breaking news. That's the news before 4 minutes while we started compiling this around 15 hours. Red Sea tension, India bound Saudi tanker that we already said yesterday. India bound Saudi oil tanker heads back to, the port because the Houthis have warned the Red Sea blockade has started. Between the hope and fear, Yemenis react to the Houthis blockade on Saudi Arabia. They definitely, they're also looking in that direction. And defense bill, US proposes 1.5 trillion, 1.15 trillion military bill expanding the Israel cooperation as well. So this is a lot of indication as to what is going to happen now next in the West Asia. Equally, the US is saying it has carried out the 12th night attacks and strikes on Iran. They have equally, they are signing the civil nuclear deal with Saudi Arabia. So a lot of action in the south, in the West Asia, basically the West Asia plateau, which will definitely continue making an impact on the world economy, on the oil prices, on the oil-driven inflation, and the weather crisis triggered out of the bombings, all the super El Ninos and everything, which is again going to trigger a kind of pressure on the food inflation and the food related prices. So that is where you will have to make the borrowings. The countries will have to make the borrowings from the world banks, which would again be in dollars. And that's how I think Donald Trump is trying to keep dollar stagnant and stable and strong. His agenda is basically to fight the de-dollarization game and make the dollar strong. That's what he's trying. But these are the ways out, and this is going to make an impact on the world markets, on the world economy, no doubt about that. So if the dollar has to remain strong, the sufferers would be the country which are the oil importing nations. That's in nutshell. Any which ways, let's move forward as to what's happening in the world news desk. And let's take a call on the world news desk. Here we go. Here we see what's the thing in the world news desk. So in the world news desk, it's about Albanese, Australian Prime Minister Albanese. Again, he's pitching for the third term. Part two, he's talking about a lot of developmental activities in Australia as well. And Mayor Mamdani has recruited a tech crew. He's going tech, he's going digital. That's what the news is. And apart from that, the youth protest in India, that's again the world headlines. And African heat wave, that's something which is new. camels, camels are dying in the scorching heat, and that is something which is the news which is read the most presently. There are some electricity cuts proposed in UK for pound 45 per year. So that is largely the news headlines which is read across the world. So this is the world pack for you. Let's take a call on to what is happening in India. Here we go on the India front. So the news from India. Today's news from India was little more. So what's the news happening in India? India news is largely dominated with the CJP protest. Prime Minister has promised a fast-track court. He has said that he will punish the corrupt officials. Some more than dozens of officials have been arrested in this matter. Not only officials, though, all those who are involved in this are arrested. Equally, Kejriwal has said that fast-track court doesn't address the key demand. That's what he has said. So the key demand is the resignation of Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. 5 Delhi cops injured, internet cut, tear gas near Sansad Marg. That's the news which is coming in. Hunger strike and Indian activist loses 11 kgs. That is, Sonam Wangchuk has lost 11 kgs in 26 days. So these are largely the news which are reported across India. Which are the news which are read more in India. I would not say reported. Reported probably the shelling and all this happened on 20th March. So whatever was there was 21st, 22nd. So these news yet are read. So we are trying to bring in the pack from last 48 hours as to what are the news which are read, and that is how it is. Vehicle-free roads, reading zones planned for college streets. That's the news. Chhattisgarh reserves 10% jobs for Omnibus. That's again the headline, which is the critical updates which are happening in India. Bots make over half of the train ticket requests. The new IRCTC ticket booking platform. Now that's where the bots are making the request. And UPSC key dengue vaccine. These are the reports. Right to protest, EPF schemes. These are the news headlines which are emerging from India. Kolkata students have also joined the CJP protest. So what I said yesterday, that everything is being eyed, everybody is watching as to how the Mamata Banerjee and its entire TMC, broken TMC, is going to respond to this. When she arrives in Delhi, when she comes to Jantar Mantar, what is going to be the mood? Because most of the parties have gone and garnered their support. But this is the critical thing. Entire India is watching that what is going to be the stand of Mamata Banerjee from here. So let us wait and watch. There has been a report on the National Testing Agency, and what we see is that only there are 39 permanent staff for 6.6 crore candidates, and almost in 2018, if you see since 2018, so there has been almost like now 8 years, and in that scenario, in that situation, they have conducted 210 examinations. So you can understand what is happening, where the recruitments are not happening, how the systems are being collapsed. That's the news largely. Let's take a call on other direction. What's happening in the business news? The news developments coming from the business space. Business space largely, while we were preparing this slide, so you might see some updates from the Sensex and Nifty, but that now becomes irrelevant because the markets have closed. So Sensex down 400 points. Yes, that's what you say. Surging oil prices are key factors behind the market decline. That is also what we have said. Commodity players have moved from equity to commodities. So all that cushioning which is happening is because of the DII buying. So FIIs are moving out, DIIs are playing. FIIs are moving out, going into the commodity space, and DIIs are buying those stocks which are broken, and they might look for some profit. Some correction might happen in some coming short term, and that's why they would make their money. Eternal share can rise up to 75% from current level despite competition. That is, some analysts are talking about it. And JP Morgan to hire 1,000 people for the India Global Compatibility Center. That's the news coming in. Equally, new dynamic global centers are emerging in India. So global, it's becoming a location for the GCCs, dynamic global centers. Relevant investments are coming in the GCC space. Can Nifty bounce back about 24,000 on Thursday? No, of course, it has gone to that level. So I don't know where, it has declined. So you can't say it is going to bounce back. Tomorrow is Friday. Let's see how that really surfaces. And Afema Capital reopening bumper return from 8-year-old bet. So that's the news largely in the business space. I'm a little fast today because I have to go out, and this is I'm also delayed by today's presentation by half an hour. So yeah, here we go. The news coming from the political desk of India. So what's the news coming from the political desk of India? So as we scale to the political developments, हमेशा देर कर देता हूँ, हर काम करने में जरूरी बात कहनी हो, कोई वादा निभाना हो. Munir Niazi, that was Shashi Tharoor quotes basically while, he targets PM Modi on the paper leak response, and that is how he addresses the whole issue. Congress protests near PM's house are insincere. That is a big remark coming from Sonam Wangchuk's wife. No discussions without education minister's resignation. Opposition hardens the stance over the paper leak. So, opposition has got an opportunity this time to, take the people on the task who are in power. And that's the reason opposition is not bending. But let's see how the game unfolds, basically. The question is about the future of the students at the end of the day. Resignation happens, whatever happens, unless and until the papers don't leak, the testings, the examinations are not conducted in a fair and free manner. This issue is something which the government has to address, because only the hope now lies with the government jobs, with such exams, competitive exams. And if that gateway is also leaked, India would be completely jobless. The youth of India would be completely jobless, because the private sector has started, recruiting, putting AI for the adoption and everything. So they have already adopted AI, and that's what the job cut reports are surfacing from India, also from several places in private sectors. But if you see the IRCTC new web development, that also speaks of the same thing, the automation. So that there also I see the jobs are going to be cut. Let's wait and watch. Any which ways, you harm the future of youth most. That's Rahul Gandhi's rebuts on PM's fast-track courts announcement. And Cockroach Janata Party, BJP, Congress, a tale of three protests. That's a kind of editorial piece which you need to read. And the key takeaways from the paper leak controversies and protests to sharp political rebuttals and sarcastic takes on India's major parties' politics heats up in the multiple fields. And the kind of memes which are coming in, with the placards and everything, where the people are displaying their sanitary pads, that they are also not leaking, my papers are leaking, where somebody says chai banao, I would not be able to say the other sentence which is written over there. Clearly, the Gen Z has changed the entire opinion of this country. They have realized that, the way people were criticizing Gen Z, these guys can't do anything, they're just busy watching the reels. The Gen Z has changed the opinion. They took the batons. One girl's video has gone viral in Bombay, who stood against the police van, and she did not allow the police van to move, and people were finally released. There has been some other video also which has surfaced, where the police van was locked with just one it was not locked also. So they just put that latch out and people moved out of that. Somewhere it seems, police is also kind of, cooperating in this movie. That is visible, because you can't hold people in that, in that bus, and then you can't lock it. You would not go do that sort of a negligible act. So clearly, and the way Rahul Gandhi has said, that the cops were whispering that, please ensure that you change the government. So somewhere, the system within the government is probably supporting this revolution, no doubt about that. The way the statements are coming in, this is indicative that people within the establishment are not happy with this kind of a model of governance. Let us wait and watch what happens. But these words, these sentences are indicative in itself. Even I think government would be taking a serious note of that. My understanding is that's what it is. They are videographing every journalist who is covering the protest. They are videographing every person who is talking. So yes, government is equally serious about this, no doubt about that. But I don't know what will be the outcome of this. That's what we need to wait and watch. From the science and tech desk, if you see, largely the news is about, I'll just run through this now, because from the science and tech desk, if you see, the news is largely about the phones, about, the phone, basically the NISAR satellite in Antarctica, which has captured the hummingbird. That reveals about the ice dynamics of Antarctic to hummingbirds. That's what it is being studied about. The hidden brain switch in bees, that's the job assignment discovered. So there is a brain switch, hidden brain switch in bees, and that discovers the job assignment. So that is also being studied now in the world of science. And there are lots of news on the Samsung Fold, Galaxy Z Ultra Fold and all that. So now there are new two flip models of Samsung. One is the complete vertical, kind of a complete rectangular piece, and another one is semi-rectangular. So, that is also in the news. And Skyroot rocket, India's private orbital launch success, puts India alongside the US, China, and private orbital launches. That is the news which is read most right now, basically in India. There are some news about the Redmi phones and all that. Surging oil prices are key factor behind market and the kind of decline. That's what market decline. These are also the news which are coming in. So largely, while we scale out from the science and tech, let's go what's happening in the news from the Gujarat desk. My home state, the home state of Dateline, Gujarat. So what's happening in the Gujarat news desk? So the green hydrogen policy, Gujarat invites industries with the green hydrogen policy, renewable hydrogen energy ecosystem. Equally, Vande Bharat and Rajdhani has been cancelled because of the heavy rains in South Gujarat. The reports of heavy rains in South Gujarat, Ahmedabad, Valsad, Navsari, all these places. So the trains have been cancelled. Vedanta ONGC takeover. I mean, Delhi Highway clears. Delhi High Court, sorry, not Highway. Delhi High Court clears the way for ONGC takeover of Vedanta operated Gujarat block, which was in Cambay Basin. So that's how it is. And MK Dave has been appointed as the secretary to the governor. That's the news in Gujarat. Largely the COVID victim aid. So the government of Gujarat has paid rupees 28.8 crore aid to the kings of 115 GSRTC, that is Gujarat State Road Transport Corporation COVID victims, and IMD red alert for evacuation. Almost 1,000 evacuated in South Gujarat. IMD sounds alert. CM deploys ministers also and the rapid action force and all those disaster relief measures and disaster kind of force which takes place. And Gujarat police files, police flogging suo moto that has been filed in Gujarat High Court. Gujarat High Court takes a suo moto cognizance of police flogging and parading of culprit in Surat. And that's how they are saying it's a violation of the constitutional right of a human being. So, I mean, these are the news largely from Gujarat. Let's see what else is happening on the weather front and the weather space. I mean, the weather and the climate. And that's the last slide we are talking. So, yes, I think let's take a call over here. What's happening? The Japanese heat wave disaster, that's the headline largely. Hundreds in Japan in heat wave disaster are suffering because of the heat wave. And tropical storms Bertha makes a landfall at Louisiana, moves towards Texas. So that's what America is being handling. And climate to scientists. People are hospitalized people are hospitalized more because of the climate suffering. That's what the scientists have studied. Tropical storm Bertha, that's update on that. Workplace temperature debate. So care homes open doors, counselors to debate maximum working temperatures. That's how it is. And 18 killed in rains basically in the Pakistan area basically. And woman complains about the maximum. Okay, that's what it is there in the temperature workplace. Wildfire warnings have been issued over the BBQs. That's the barbecues. And August heat wave map has been released in the UK and Europe. Heat wave death mysteries. Why is still hard to count the heat wave deaths? That's the question which is being asked. That's being debated. That's the news rate. 8 UK areas at a risk of drought. Reverse level approach at all time. So now drought in UK. So these are the news largely from the weather space. I'm stopping to share this and I'll come full scale, full-fledged. So these are the news largely which are happening across the world, in India, in all the spaces, in all the spheres, in all the sectors, business, politics, entertainment, sports. I think we missed on the entertainment. Let me just take a look at the entertainment thing. I think that's the thing we are missing on. I think we'll have to take the entertainment slide from here. Here we go. I am sorry we missed on this. So here we are. And let's take a look at the entertainment news. Here we go. So this is the development from the entertainment space. I'm sorry I was not able to share that slide. I would just like to share that slide for entertainment. And I think then we can take the call on that direction as well. So here we go. I'm sharing the entertainment slide. I'll have to rename it a little. That's okay. I'll just share this entertainment slide. I mean, we missed on the entertainment slide, yes. So we'll take that news right now. So here we got the image of entertainment, and here I'll not stop sharing the screen again. I'll share the screen because we have missed on the entertainment updates. This happens. This sometimes happens, So yeah. So yeah, this is the development from the entertainment space. So Jananayagan movie review is out. People are clapping, cheering. They say the first 15-20 minutes are a little dull, but once there is entry of Vijay Thalpathy, so this is going to be a neat commercial entertainer. Fans hail Vijay's farewell film. And people are just. I read the reviews, of a couple of movie enthusiasts on the Facebook and other places, and they are all in for Jananayagan, no doubt about that. Amid backlash, R. Madhavan finally reacts to Jantar Mantar student protests, asks for a fair and transparent vote. That's what he has said. Equally, Salman Khan admitting to receiving leaked exam papers resurfaces after actor backs students' protest. So that's what he has said. I think in one of the interviews, his father had also said that there was a person named Ganesh and who used to come their place, and he had said that why he was. So his father said that why kids were giving so much importance to Ganesh, but then they realized that Ganesh was the person. This is what his father Salim Khan has said. Salim Khanji has said basically. A very respected writer and a veteran. Indian film cinema personality. What he has said, Salim ji has said, is that he has said on Kapil Sharma's show. And he said that, there was a person called Ganesh, and I always realized why he was getting so much of importance in house. But then he said that he used to bring those leaked papers for the kids. And he was not aware that, Ganesh was bringing those leaked papers to. And finally, Salman Khan is admitting to this. So, yeah, he backs this protest. Trisha Krishnan to watch first show, Vijay Jananayagan in theatre, obviously, no doubt about that. The way talks are going on about their relationship or the situationship, whatever you call it. Glasgow Gold Quest begins. Neeraj Chopra, Mirabai Chanu lead India's medal hopes for the Commonwealth Games. Yeah, that's the news. Inside FBI's $300 million money laundering probe on Argentina's FIFA World Cup 2026 campaign. Where towards Zimbabwe versus India live stream TV channel, start time and lineups for T20. Local promoters celebrate 100th gig of this with the third lung, and thousands of Britons ditch the TV aerial during a World Cup in the major boost to free view successor freely. Entertainment buzz. Vijay Talpathi's movie is one of the things which is ruling the headlines. So with this, I'll stop sharing the screen. Yes, and I'm back in the full. So this is the day today for you. From all the sectors, from the world, India, conflict zones, whatever news you want to read. Most trade headlines, that's what we discuss. And thank you for watching us. Thank you for viewing us. Thank you for listening to us. Please do take very good care of yourself. There are monsoon warnings. So, yeah, while going out with your two-wheelers, three-wheelers, four-wheelers, be a little careful and stay safe, stay connected. It's going to be a weekend. From today it starts. The binging starts from today. So, I think we'll bring that also once, once we have that, what are the binge watches which are going to be happening in all languages in India, and that we'll bring on Thursdays. Because we're going to do now these lives only from Monday to Thursday. Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Nothing on Friday, because Friday the market closes. Nobody is interested after that. So we won't do any lives on Friday. No edition on Friday. Of course, the editions are, the Dateline Gujarat dispatches, the hashtag DLG plus 2 dispatch. The Global Business News edition is uploaded on the website at night around 3:30 after the US markets close. We bring in the entire metrics, entire data as to how the markets have remained today. So we give you that review and report along with the business, world headlines, everything from that space. Similarly, whatever is here is there. But largely, what we do the midday is a kind of something which has happened after the 12 hours. So that's what it is. Do keep on sharing your suggestions, your criticism, everything through the comments or whatever way you wish to talk to us. And thank you for watching us. Thanks a lot.